I want to give a quick introduction to waving and how we're going to translate it from external to internal. And it's very much along the lines of what Tim said earlier, where you want to be able to feel something, remember what that feels like, and then be able to just think about it and replicate it. So the way we want to move our body is super loose, super fluid. In fact, I sent, I believe, every one of you the video of Sifu Clear at the Tai Chi Symposium a few years ago. I managed to catch his demonstration where he is moving with incredible wave and spiral. And that's the best example. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it right now.
And so this is some of the stuff that we do sometimes for warm-up in classes, sometimes as a skill for somebody to develop and work on. And I'm just going to kind of move with that so you can see it. And so that's got some wave quality. And a little bit of spiral quality. So using wave and spiral in a martial way, and I'll walk it off slow and then show it to you at some speed. This again. That way. That one. And
Okay, so you notice that he also decided to demonstrate the martial use of the spiraling and the waving. When you post this video, because we've done it before on social media, you get the people going, oh, what is he doing? That looks like breakdancing, wah, ha, ha, and they don't get it. So he decided to show the 5 Xing Yi Fists using those qualities, okay? So while it's a whole body quality, absolutely, positively, let's focus in on the arms for just a moment and such. Imagine you have a towel and you're going to whip someone with it. Well, everything should be involved in that. Your shoulder, your elbow, your wrists, your fingers. And it's going to be like that if you're doing it fast. Now notice there's a return as well. We don't just go out like that and stop. So you want the return. And we don't need to go fast. I just use the towel whipping because I think everyone can, relate to that. And so you can move your whole body up and down and forward and back and side to side and front and back and rotating, getting this sort of waving action. And so we all need to work on this and become much looser, much more fluid. Right now, we need to be really, really large about it. Okay, so much so that we know this feeling so incredibly well that we do not need to be moving, as we talked about earlier with Tim, and you can recall the wave. So a good example is push hands. I can be connected to someone, and yes, I can do a big external wave. Many of us have practiced some of this, but we can also make it internal, where I connect And I have that, and as long as I have connection to the other person, and I have the wave moving inside me with that connection, they move away. Unless, of course, they know how to receive it and take it in, maybe even return it back at me. So there's that. But we want to be able to move in this fashion so well that we can just recall it and do it internally. And that's how wave becomes internal skill. If you can't do something externally, it's going to be rough trying to do it internally. You're going to be deluding yourself, or you're going to have the equivalent of a dripping water faucet of skill at doing it internally. So we really do need to go through the goofiness of practicing this and being really, really loose. And that'll be the introduction to wave. You can all play with that, and we'll do a whole bunch more of this with next week's class.